Today could be the first of many days that Ontario education workers are off the job.
We have made significant moves in all areas in hopes of reaching a deal while ensuring that workers have good wages and that students and families have better services.
We're here because they have completely unreasonable demands. They have not refused to withdraw that strike. And as such, we have no choice.
55,000 CUPE support staff workers have walked off the job today, forcing many schools to close. The Ontario government raced to pass that back to work legislation that makes strike action illegal. Caught in the middle are the children who are now out of school again. And we wanted to talk to parents to see how they're feeling this morning. Chantal Mancini is a mom to a grade 8 student in Hamilton, and Rebecca Eckler has a son in grade 5 and is the publisher of Rebooks. Good to have you both on the show today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Chantal, I want to start with you. I mean, you study teachers and their unions at McMaster. You're a mom. How are you feeling this morning?
I kept my son home today. I'm not feeling that it's a safe place for him to be when the people that are responsible for cleaning the schools and keeping them safe is a place for where I want my child to be. And I support the workers. The government has said your work is so important that we're going to use the notwithstanding clause to impose a contract on you and take away your right to strike. But you're not important enough to pay them a living wage. And they do essential work. So yes, it is not great to have my son home. But he's been off for a number of disruptions anyway, catching flus and colds at school. This is another day for him, but we support the workers. We feel very strongly, and the government could have prevented this. They could have paid workers a living wage.
Rebecca, your son's in grade 5. How did you feel waking up this morning?
I feel very wary. I felt that way all week. I 100% support the education workers as well. I do think, though, on a more human level, I think most parents, especially, I do say mothers, we have this internal conflict actually going on. Because of course we support educational workers. I would walk in myself if I could give them $3 an hour more a day myself. That being said, we have seen the effects on what happens when a kid sits in front of a computer for 8 hours a day.
Chantal, your son is now in grade 8?
Yes.
Yeah, so what do you say to him today about why he's not in the classroom?
I told him exactly what the issues were. He knows his support staff, his caretaking staff, they're the CUPE members in the board that we're in. He knows what they do every day. He knows that they keep the school clean and safe, and he supports them. I've explained all the issues to him, certainly to the point you can to a 12-year-old, but he's very supportive, and he is happy to support workers. He wants to be at school, there's no question. He loves his teacher. He loves his school. He wants to be there. But he also understands that this is short-term pain for long-term gain, where you have well-paid and proper resourced schools and workers in the building.
Rebecca, your son's a little bit younger than that, grade 5. So what kind of conversation have you had with him about today?
Well, I tried to explain what a strike is, earlier on. My son is, he's 10, and he doesn't love going to school on the best of days. So you can imagine what it's like, even if the teachers somehow do go back to virtual learning. My son is not that type who wants to sit, or can sit for that matter, in front of a computer for so long. So, I mean, he's 10 years old, so he's happy there is a strike, but he's 10, so,
Yeah.
I still have to say, you're wearing your pants backwards. So let's take it from the source.
Yeah, listen, I've got a 10-year-old as well. It's a tricky one.
I did see for the first time today that my heart sank. I think I saw for the first time, I will say this about CUPE, the way they get their messaging out lands wrong. It just does. So I think a lot of parents are confused. Of course, we, again, support the workers, but...
When you say their message lands wrong, what is it about it that is not sitting well with you?
Their wording, the way they word things. I mean, I was a journalist, so I can kind of read between the lines. I knew that they weren't, coming back after Christmas right away. I knew it from their wording. It's just getting their emails constantly every single day telling us the same thing, but today's the first day I saw the word indefinitely. And to me, that means probably, my guess is they'll probably strike for a week before parents, parents turn patients, because it doesn't just affect the child, it affects the entire family, it affects the entire home. And yes, our kids' mental health are suffering because of this. Parents' mental health are suffering from this. Teachers' mental health are suffering from this. Nobody wins here. Everybody's just going to suffer.
And Rebecca, are you starting to rethink the school environment for your child?
I am. My daughter went through the private school system. Of course, the differences are stark. And my son is in grade 5. I am being generous when I say I think he might have gotten 2 full years of a teacher sticking it out for those 2 full years. He has not got one teacher that was consistent. And I think more than anything, right now, the world needs a bit of stability. And no one's getting that. No one's getting stability or consistency. And that we all know that kids need that. Well, and I also want to just question, of course, again, 100% back the educational workers would pay out of my own pocket for you to stay in school and give you your raise and everything you asked for. But why
it's
now?
Yeah.
We didn't even get through 2 months we didn't even get through a semester. Yeah. I mean, it would have been better for them to say we are striking in the new year and give us that much time to prepare.
Yeah, Chantal and Rebecca, listen, we appreciate you both coming on. It was an important conversation to hear both of your voices on this. So thank you both and good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Right. Thank you. And good luck to the teachers.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.